Hello everybody, Sean here, and we're looking at some of the weapons you can get in the Dark Souls 2 DLC. You can see one of them in my hands right now. This is the Sanctum mace. You could get it from killing pretty well any of the soldiers. It's just a rare drop. You could get their whole set of armor, really, and their weapons. It's just going to take you some time. And the Sanctum mace is very interesting, a lot similar to all of their armor, really. And that if you use it, it will slowly poison you. Now, the Sanctum mace does take a lot of strength. You can see I can't even one-hand this thing because it's just too big. It's 35 strength, I believe. Yeah, 35 strength, 6 dex to wield. Has a B scaling its strength, though, so that's not too bad. But it is a monster to have to carry around. But you can see it does have just some very, very heavy hits until the point at which you poison yourself. So, if you do plan to use it, having some poison resistance gear would be very good. Or having some items that you can remove the poison would be also very good. Let us hop over to another weapon real quick. So this one is a very interesting one. This is the Puzzling Stone Sword, and you can see it looks like a normal sword, right? Just a normal sword, but when you use its heavy attack, you can see it actually turns into a whip. So you have a sword starting out, and then you have a whip for the heavy attack. Basically the same thing if you use the two-handed motion. You have the thrusting attack, but then you have a kind of twirling AoE of a whip attack for the secondary. And then there is nothing in particular if you use your left trigger buttons. No specialty attacks. Just a very interesting sword in that it can change from a sword to a whip. Kind of on the fly to give you a little more range and give you that whipping action. And then we have the Yorg Spear. So this Yorg Spear you get by trading in Sin's Soul, and Sin being the final boss of the DLC, of course. And this spear it's big. If you actually fight Sin and look closely, you can see the original version of the spear sticking inside of him. 30 strength, 25 dex to use. Has pretty decent scaling. It's not the best, but it hits very hard. Unupgraded, it's hitting for 214. Plus 99 currently with my stats, so it's over 300 damage, and it's got the basic spear attacks, really. It's got a forward, thrust lunge attack. It has a sweeping attack, but its real fun is if you two-hand it, you could get a forward lunge, and I'm out of stamina, so I actually need to wait for that to recharge. Don't exactly have a lot of stamina to work with. Alright, so you have the forward lunge, but then you have a nice little kind of twirling maneuver you'd almost expect to see with the twin blade class of weapons. And then for the right trigger attack, it's kind of the same thing. You have a very large sweeping attack followed by a little bit of a flourish on the end there. Very, very strong, very powerful attack. Definitely, if you like using these spear type weapons for their extra reach, you'll definitely enjoy using that. And then the final weapon we're going to look at is the second boss weapon. This is the Elena's soul trade-in. So you trade in her soul, you will get the Wrathful axe, which is basically the same weapon you see her using. It's a pretty hefty axe. It's got a lot of stat requirements, frankly. 20 strength, 22 dex, and 28 on the faith. So it is kind of a faith user's weapon, but you're going to have some good stats to wield it. It's got your basic kind of halberd style of attacks when you're just one-handing or two-handing it. You can see nothing too special here, and same again if you two-hand it. It's going to be the same kind of basic halberd style attacks. It does have the nice spin though, which is always beneficial. But what it does have is a specialty attack. If I can, there we go. So if you use the left trigger, the power attack, they call it, what do they call it specifically? Let me find out, because there is a specific. Use the strong attack to unleash its latent power. But as you saw, so basically what this does, you hold it above your head and then boom. And that's very similar to Elena's attack, where she kind of charges dark magic inside of her, then explodes. So you're basically doing the same thing, however, it takes you a few seconds to do it. Its AoE isn't that large, frankly. It's not going to be much longer than the reach of this actual weapon. So the enemies have to be pretty close to you. It works best if you can sneak up behind someone, or if they're otherwise being distracted by something else. It does a moderate amount of damage, But otherwise, I don't think you're going to want to pick up this axe just for that single attack. Make sure this is something you want to use. But there you go. So that's some of the weapons you could get in the new Dark Souls 2 Sunken King DLC. I hope this gives you some ideas on what to look out for. I thank you for watching, and we'll see everyone next time.